Okay, let's go through the Blackboard class setup so you get a little familiar with that. If you get into Start Here, which is where I recommend you start, just coincidentally, you will see what I'd like you to do to get your ebook, and also you can read all or watch all the posts that go through the sections of the syllabus. For some reason, they're not coming across as links, so you'll have to cut and paste them, put them in your browser, and follow them, and you should be fine. I have an announcements page. You want to check that every week, see if I put any announcements in. I will try and set them up so they go to you as an email as well. Sometimes I'm not always good with that, so just be aware that it's there. I think the next section that I really want you to focus on is learning modules. It's set up each week, and it should be a reminder of what's to be done, what's due. Now, here's an important tip. When you're looking to do a quiz, even though week three's quiz is due that week, it will open up in week two. So in other words, the Thursday of week two, you'll be able to see it. And it's due the Wednesday of week three. Where do you find it to take it? You'll find the quizzes in the week that they are due. So if you were to click on week three, you'll see there's the quiz, there's the discussion, questions that must be answered as well in that week. And for every week, I will give you PowerPoint slides for you to use at your own discretion to help you study the chapter. I don't do anything with them. I don't embed any conversation with them. They're there for a tool to use, for you to use if you like learning that way. So again, in the learning modules, you will always find the quiz that is due in the week that it's due, even though it becomes available Thursday of week two in this case. It's due the Wednesday of week three. So when you're in week two thinking, okay, I've got to finish a quiz by next week, where do I find it? You find it in week three. If you're in week three, you'll find week's four quiz in week four, and so on. Okay. If you have an assignment due week four, you click on week four, and you'll have the assignment task here, and this is where you will click on it and create your file and submit your file via Blackboard, via SafeAssign. I have all papers run through SafeAssign. It's an anti-plagiarism service, and so everything's submitted through Blackboard on that. And you'll, even though now that means that you can go the second day of class if you wanted to, you will have visibility of the assignment. Now, if you try and look at the assignment for it due week 9, you will not see the assignment. It's not visible to you, so you cannot work ahead any more than the assignment that's coming due. So there's a learning module set up for every week. Hopefully I've got it aligned with the printed class schedule. If you see something that seems out of whack or not aligned, please let me know. I'll fix it. They're quite capable and do make mistakes, so I'm human, so I admit that. And usually you guys are the first ones to find my mistakes, so there's no sense trying to pretend I'm perfect because I know I'm not. So let me also now bring you to the discussion board. A couple important parts of the discussion board. I haven't set up the class at the time of this recording, so it's asking me some questions as an instructor. Those will go away by the time you see them. While you access your discussions via the learning modules, if you click on the discussion week, it'll take you right to the discussion. I want you to know that there are 2 extra communication forms for you in the discussion board. The first one is Ask Dave. This is set up for you to ask me any question you want about the class. If something's confusing to you in terms of subject material, if I might have put 2 different dates for the same assignment in there and you want clarification, this is the perfect place to send me an email, and I monitor this and I respond, and everybody will see your question and everybody will see my response. It's kind of a nice way, instead of 16 people asking me the same question, if you've got a question to ask me, go to Ask Dave. If somebody else has asked it, you don't need to ask it again. I'll respond to it, and then everybody will have the answer. But just note, because everybody sees the question and everybody sees my response, don't ask any questions of a personal nature, particularly about a grade or any other personal situation you may be going through. That's a violation of your privacy, and chances are I won't respond to that question in a public forum like that. I would email you back privately. And remember, you always have that option. If you've got a personal issue to discuss with me, send me an email directly and I'll respond that way. But this is a good way to keep track of questions from everybody. The second communications portal here is also important for you. It's an opportunity for you to challenge quiz questions. Now, I alluded to that when I was going through the segments of the syllabus. This is Quiz Challenge. I do not make up the quizzes. I take them from an instructor bank. I try and screen them. Maybe I'll modify a few, but by and large, I use what's the publisher has provided. Sometimes those questions are crystal clear, and sometimes they're not. So when they're not, or you think the answer that the text gives is wrong, here's your chance to challenge the question. And the process works like this. You need to write down the question that you're challenging. You can't tell me question number 2 I have an issue with, because all the tests are scrambled. Question number 2 is not the same for everybody's, so I won't know which question you're asking about. So you have to write down the question and the answers. Tell me what answer the text gave you is right, and tell me what you think is the right answer and why. Now, when you tell me why, I want you to refer back to the text. Prove to me in the text that your answer is right and that the given answer from the textbook is wrong. I will look at that. I might do a little research on it. If I agree with you, and I've been known to do that, then I will consider that a bonus question, and everybody will get the credit for that question. Yep, even if you got it right, you'll get points for that question. Because frankly, I don't take the time to go back through all the quizzes, because they're scrambled, to figure out who answered what question and how did they answer it. So I'll give everybody extra points for that. However, keep in mind that the highest grade you can get on a quiz is 100. You can't earn 102 or 105. It's 100. So if you're already sitting at 100 and I award a bonus question to everybody, it's not going to impact your grade. You're already at the 100. But I may look at that question and say, nope, the text answer is correct, and I'll write back as to why the text answer is correct. I'll give you my opinion. I'll give you a reference back to the text. And, frankly, the buck stops here. I might be willing to discuss it with you a little bit more if you want to come back at me again. But at some point, I'm going to tell you, nope, this is the final decision. Let's move on. But you have a right to challenge any quiz question. And just like in real life, you have a right to challenge anything. This is your opportunity to do it. Again, this is a public format, so other of your classmates will see the quiz challenge. That way, if they have the same question, there's no need for you to type in, yeah, me too, I had the same question, etc. One question from one student, I treat it as a question coming from everybody. And as I said before, either everybody gets extra credit for the change of the answer, or you don't earn any extra credit. So you have Ask Dave. Anytime, I monitor that. Questions about the class, questions about material, quiz question challenge, anytime you have a question about a quiz. Now, if you ask me a question on a quiz on a Monday or a Tuesday, and the quiz isn't due until Wednesday, I'm not going to respond to you until probably Thursday morning. I'm not going to give away something here that others may not have taken their quiz yet and can gain some knowledge from, or benefit from. So I think I've laid everything out there in writing, kind of explains what I've been trying to say. So take it from there. and feel free to use it. One other place I want to point out, first assignment company selections. When you go to your first assignment, you will see it's about a subject called sustainability. And I send you to some TED Talks so you learn about what sustainability is. The textbook covers it a little bit as well. That assignment requires you to select a company and assess its sustainability efforts and its sincerity in those efforts. You cannot duplicate a company, so this is where you claim your company. I recommend you go in early and claim a company and say, I just put in Apple, and your name will appear because it comes in on the thread. So you have reserved Apple. Nobody else can pick it, every pun intended, after you have. Okay. Ties, there are no ties. First posted, first gets it. If you duplicate, I'm going to send you back an email saying you can't use that. Somebody else already picked it. Find another company. I strongly suggest you pick large Fortune 500 companies. Don't pick little local companies. You won't be able to do the research that's required to answer the questions that relate to this assignment. So that's my strong hint to you. Take a note when you look at the assignment length, the minimum lengths I'm looking for. I don't particularly pick writing styles, whatever you're comfortable with. Just be in English. In my 35, 40 years of management in large corporations, I never received an assignment and had my boss tell me I wanted an APA or MLA. Just doesn't exist. We want it in English. We want it spelled correctly. We want it written clearly. And those are the criteria I apply. And as we went through that section in the syllabus, you remember I reserved 20% of the grade to spelling and clarity. So please take note of that.